Hello, grade 9 scholars. Since we didn't have much time to cover up the remaining lesson, as I promised to you guys, nagagawa ako ng video lesson for you. So, our topic for this video lesson will be about the specific defenses of the human body. It will be acquired or adaptive immunity. And of course, here are the following targets that we need to attain. First, compare non-specific and specific defenses. And number two, describe how various specific defenses work. It can be humoral or cell-mediated immunity. So to begin with, as you can see here in the illustration, this picture shows a widely known contagious viral infection which infects mainly children and is characterized by itchy red blisters in the skin. Local term nito, alam natin is like, what do you call this? Bulutong. So, maybe some of you ay nakaranas ng ganitong infection and alam natin yung isa sa mga symptoms na naranasan natin is that our body temperature increases as well as sobrang katito sa katawan, para kang nilalagnat. So, the question would be, paano kaya? How does our body fight off this kind of infection? Is this true that you can only catch this viral infection once in your lifetime? We're going to discover that as we continue our discussion. Now, so in the previous lesson, we have learned that vertebrates like us have two types of immune defenses, right? The innate and the adaptive or innate, which are not non-specific, and acquired or adaptive, which are specific to a class of pathogens. We also learned that the different structural, chemical, ecological, and biological innate defenses which are present in a vertebrate's body, like our skin, our tears, our mucus, and others. So in this lesson, we will be exploring the specific or acquired or adaptive defenses of vertebrates, their characteristics, and their corresponding mechanisms for defense. All right. So here in a adaptive or acquired immunity in vertebrates, we have these two famous cells, the so-called B cell and the T cell. Alright? So, malalaman natin kung ano nga ba yung mga function nito at ano nga ba yung mga pinuproduce na lang molecules to counterpart the different infections na pwedeng mag-enter sa katawan natin. Okay, so the first step of adaptive immunity is antigen recognition. Ibig sabihin, ay na-recognize yung isang invader or pathogen na pumapasok. So, kaya nga antigen recognition. Ibig sabihin, yung antigen, these are parts or these are invaders or pathogenic bacteria na pumapasok sa katawan natin. So, for adaptive immunity to proceed, kailangan mo na ang B cell and T cell must recognize first the pathogen. Malaman dapat nila na, oops, this is not part of our body or this is not part of the human cell. So, this is an invader. So, how would recognition happen? First, it happens when the antigen receptor of B cell, meaning to say, meron tayong mga receptor dyan that can able to recognize yung mga B cell and T cell na yon, they bind to that antigen. Okay? So, the antigen recognition by T cell and B cell, as you can see here sa figure, say for example, itong mga invading viruses and bacteria natin, yung the violet and yellow one, and this one, nasa circuit, nakapaloob sa circle. So, say for example, these are invading pathogen. So, papasok siya sa katawan natin, or enter siya, and then, yung macrophage, as we've discussed sa ating mga previous lesson, ito yung type ng cell na kung saan it undergoes phagocytosis or engulfing of the bacteria itself, okay, para makain yun. So, this macrophage will, release some receptors. Mag-release siya ng isang antigen recognition, meaning to say, maglalagay siya ng signal sa mga iba't ibang cell para ma-recognize na yun or meron siyang lamang invading bacteria or virus. So, as you can see sa figure, once na nagkaroon na ng antigen recognition, yung B lymphocyte ay magre-react doon and then it will produce antibody. Remember, ang nagpo-produce ng antibodies natin are the B lymphocyte. Okay? Ang cytotoxic T lymphocyte naman or the T cell, usually sila ang nagpo-produce ng mga killer cells. Okay? Sila yung kung nagka-counterpart para patayin mismo yung mga virus na pwedeng pumasok. So, they signal each other, they help hand in hand, at may mga tayong tinatawag ng mga helper T lymphocyte para mas mabilis ang kanilang pag-counterpart or yung pagpatay doon sa mga invaders. Now, let us dig deeper kung paano nga ba nare-recognize ng B cell itong antigen or the invading bacteria or the pathogen. Okay? So, when the antigen receptor of B cell, kung makikita natin sa figure, yung B cell na yan, that's the blue one here, at merong antigen receptor, the Y shape na yan, pag yan nag-bind doon sa epitope ng pathogen, ayan, alam natin na ang pathogen ay naglabas din ng antigen. So, pag nag-bind yun, yung B cell ay magsisecrete ng soluble form of antigen receptor, also known as antibody. So, magsisecrete siya. As you can see, yung Y-shape na yan, ang tawag dyan ay antibody. So, these antibodies are also called immunoglobulin. They can recognize epitopes. Ibig sabihin, yun mga dulo ng antigen of a pathogen surface. Ayan na. Ito yung yellow na yan, yung surface ng pathogen. Or even freely floating antigens on body fluids such as blood and lymph. So, very important itong ating antibodies. Yung representation natin usually sa mga antibodies ay Y-shape. Ayan. Kasi para naman makabind siya doon sa epitope ng ating mga antigen or ng pathogens dito. Ayan, makikita natin dito na once na nag-bind yan yung ating antibodies, this can help to recognize or for recognition as well as para mapatay natin yung pathogen. On the other hand, paano naman nagkakaroon ng antigen recognition by T cells? Okay? So, this happens only when the T cell bind to fragments of pathogen. Ibig sabihin may mga fragments doon yung pathogen na naka-displayed or presented on the surface of an already infected cell. Ibig sabihin, makakapatay lang sila or makakapag-counterpart lang sila. They can kill a cell pag na-infect na yon at nagpe-present na yon ng receptor or ng signal na siya ay infected, yung cell halimbawa na yon. When cells is infected, the antigen will bind to the MHC molecule. Ano nga ba ibig sabihin ng MHC? The major histocompatibility complex molecule inside the cell. Okay? So, MHC molecules will then display, siya yung magda-display the antigen on the surface of the infected cell and wait until the antigen receptor of T cells bind to it. Maghihintay lang siya kung ang T cell ay mag-bind na doon sa infected cell. Okay? Para mapatay yung bacteria inside it. When a T cell successfully binds to the displayed antigen, then it could now identify that the cell as infected and also the pathogen which caused the infection. Para mas mapabilis yung pag-counterpart nila or pagpatay doon sa infected cell. Okay? Remember, the T cells only bind to fragments of pathogens that are displayed or presented on the surface of an already infected cell. Alright, so since you are already familiar with the two types of lymphocytes, the B and the T cells, and the mechanism on how they recognize antigens, we can now explore the 4 characteristics of adaptive immunity. These 4 characteristics and their implications to immunity are as follows. Number 1, there is a rich diversity of lymphocytes and antigen receptors. This explains why we have immunity, okay, to a variety of pathogens, especially those which our body has already encountered before. Halimbawa nga doon yung chickenpox. Since marami tayong mga lymphocytes or even the immune cell, namely itong B cell, the helper T cell, cytotoxic T cell, regulatory T cell, and the natural killer cell. Because we have different types of lymphocytes, we can able to counterpart, lalo na yung mga infected, like mga invading bacteria or viruses na nag-infect na sa atin before. Secondly, self-tolerance or lack of reactivity against an animal's own molecules and cell. Wow. So, meaning to say, our cells can able to identify kung ito ba ay invader or parang foreign material, bago ba ito, hindi ito part ng katawan ng tao. You can able to, or our cell can able to react on it, and we can able to identify that. Kaya nagkakaroon ng self-tolerance or lack of reactivity. So one major event which could be potentially fatal, syempre, unang-una, is when the lymphocyte's antigen receptor binds to an antigen found in the surface of its own body cell. Yun ang isa sa mga nakakatakot kung papatay niya yung sarili niya. How can this be prevented, diba? When the lymphocytes are still immature in the bone marrow, since sa bone marrow usually napoproduce itong mga lymphocytes, the self-reactive lymphocytes, those whose antigen receptors are specific to the body owns molecule, are destroyed by apoptosis or the so-called programmed cell death. When the self-reactive lymphocytes are destroyed, what will remain are lymphocytes whose receptors are specific to foreign molecules only. Very specific yung kanilang mga receptors. The immune system of a human is then described as self-tolerant since it does not act against the body's own cells and molecules. Number 3, cell proliferation is the process or triggered by activation greatly increase the number of B cells and T cells. When we say cell proliferation, this is the process by which a cell grows and divides to produce two daughter cells. Ayan. So parang this is just reproduction, okay? Cell proliferation leads to an exponential increase in cell number. Dumadami, mabilis ang pagdami. So dahil nagkakaroon ng cell proliferation, nagkakaroon tayo ng maraming number of B cells and T cells. And lastly, number 4, immunological memory. Ayan. A stronger and more rapid response to an antigen encountered before. Mas mabilis na silang mag-respond and they know how to counterpart. They know how to kill such kind of invaders. So, when a B cell or T cell ay nagbind sa antigen ng ating mga pathogens or ng mga pathogen, this B cell or T cell undergoes multiple cell division to produce T cells and B cells which are specific to the recognized antigen. Once halimbawa ay nakapagpatay na sila ng invaders, magpaparami yung mga B cell and T cell na yon. And then, yung mga na-produce din ng T cells and B cells are very specific. Doon lang sa klase ng bacteria na kaya nilang patayin. There are two types of T cells and B cells that can be produced after the series of cell division. Una ay effector cells, which are short-lived lymphocytes. Sila yung immediately nagre-react against the recognized pathogen. Nabilis yung kanilang pag-react doon. And the other one is the memory cells, which are long-lived lymphocytes, which do not necessarily act against the present pathogen, but are reactive when the pathogen infects the body again for the second time in the future. So, yun ang ginagawa ng mga memory B cell. Magre-react lang sila, magiging reactive lang sila once na nagkaroon ulit ng infection for the future time. Ayan. So, the effector cells produced by T cell on B cells are called helper T cells and cytotoxic T cell. Tandaan po natin, okay? Yung mga napoproduce na mga effector cells ng T cell or B cells ay tinatawag na helper T cells and cytotoxic T cells and plasma cells. Ayan. The memory cells produced by the T cells and B cells naman, ang kanilang syempre napoproduce are memory B cells, respectively. Now let us further discussed paano nga ba nagkakaroon ng antigen recognition yung T-cell at paano siya na-activate. Okay? So the recognition of protein antigens by T-cells begins when a pathogen or part of a pathogen either infects or it is taken in by a host cell. Ang tawag nga doon pag halimbawa nag-engulf yung mga invaders ay phagocytosis. As you can see here sa picture natin, yung host cell na to ay in-engulf yung pathogen. Inside the host cell, enzymes in the cell cleave. Maraming mga enzymes dyan. They cleave the antigen into smaller peptides. They disintegrate it. Okay? They break down. Parang binibreakdown nila mismo yung pathogen. Each peptide called an antigen fragment. Ang tawag dun sa mga peptides na yon. Sila yung mga smaller peptides from itself the pathogen. So, itong mga antigen fragment then binds, sila yung nagbabind sa MHC molecules. Yung green na nakita natin sa figure inside the cell. Okay? Yung MHC na yan is present now within the cell. So, the movement of the MHC molecule and bound antigen fragment to the cell surface results in antigen presentation. Pinipresent nila, dinidisplay nila. Okay? Yung antigen fragment na yon. So, the display of the antigen fragment in an exposed groove of the MHC protein. As you can see here, sa ating presentation or sa ating figure, this antigen presentation, yung MHC molecule at yung mga dinidisplay nilang fragment, they advertised the fact that this host cell contains a foreign substance. Ang galing, diba? Kaya nilang maglagay ng tags or parang maglagay ng signal na, wait, I am infected. Okay? If the cell displaying an antigen fragment encounters T-cell, halimbawa nakapag-encounter siya, mayroong T-cell na nag-react with the right specificity, kasi very specific yung mga T-cells natin. So, halimbawa, nag-bind siya doon sa receptor na yon, the antigen receptor on the T-cell, ito yung T-cell natin, can bind both the antigen fragment and the MHC molecule. This interaction of an MHC molecule, an antigen fragment, at saka yung antigen receptor is very necessary for a T-cell to participate in an adaptive immune response. Now, to explore more, as you can see sa figure 4, the antigen recognition by T-cell and activation, kasi alam natin itong mga T lymphocytes natin or the T-cells, sila ay they are produced by the bone marrow. Then, during maturation, sila ay pupunta sa thymus natin. Then, sila ay ma-activate sila pag halimbawa matured na sila, and once activated na sila, they can able to bind na sa MHC antigen complex. And halimbawa itong yellow one na to ay isang host cell na merong or they are infected na with invaders. So, magproproduce siya, itong ating T-cell, marami siyang pwedeng magproproduce ng mga numerous T-cells. Say for example, for its clonal expansion, pwede siya makaproduce ng virus-infected cell, the memory T-cell, suppressor T-cell, and helper T-cell. Marami actually, depending on its capability, ano ba yung kaya niya pang ma-produce ng mga different types of T-cell. As earlier, na-discuss na natin ng onti itong recognition naman ng B-cell, pero paano siya na-activate? Yan ang tanong natin ngayon. So, as what we have discussed, the binding of a B-cell antigen receptor to the antigen is an early step. Yun ang una talagang step in a B-cell activation, leading eventually to formation of cells that secrete a soluble form of receptor. Ang tawag po natin doon sa secrete protein na yon ay antibody or immunoglobulin. Antibodies have the same Y-shaped organization as B-cell antigen receptors. Pareho lang sila, but they are secreted rather than membrane-bound. Okay? Hindi sila nakalagay sa membrane. Ibig sabihin, wala silang plasma membrane around them na nag-enclose sa kanila. It is the antibodies rather than the B cell themselves that actually help defend against pathogen. Sila mismo talaga yung pumapatay. They have different functions and we were going to see it later. Ayan, to sum it up, halimbawa dito sa figure 5, makikita natin kung paano na-activate at nakakapag-recognize ng antigen ang B cell. Siyempre, unang-una, makapag-recognize siya ng antigen once ito ay nag-bind, 'di ba, sa epitope ng ating mga microbes or yung mga invaders natin. Once ito ay na-activate, magkakaproduce siya ma-activate yung B lymphocytes na yon through the help of some helper T cells and other stimuli. Magkakaroon ng proliferation, ibig sabihin magkakaroon ng reproduction. Magiging marami yung ating mga B cell at pwede ito, it can have some differentiation. Ibig sabihin, pwede siyang maraming outcome. Una ay makapag-produce siya ng antibody secretion or pwede naman siyang makaproduce ng isotope switching or affinity maturation and memory B cell. Ayun. Katulad nung sa T cell kanina, pwede siyang makaproduce ng numerous kinds of B cell. Now, maybe you're wondering, why are memory cells evolutionarily important? Okay? So, if there are already lots of memory cells sa ating bloodstream, ating dugo, for example, once a pathogen infects our body, the body can save time, diba? Siyempre, very important yung memory cells. Para makapag-save ng time in cloning the T cells and B cells, since clones are already present, alam nila kung paano patayin yung ganong klaseng bacteria na once pumasok na before or sa body natin, say for example. So, mabilis na lang yung pagpatay or counterpart ng iba't ibang mga invaders na pwedeng maging present inside our body. To make it clearer, let's have this example again, yung chickenpox natin. Say, we are infected with this kind of virus. Ang tawag dun sa virus ay Varicella zoster virus. So, during the first time na tayo ay na-infect, our body will react to it by producing clones of B cell and T cells, which are specific lang sa chickenpox. Okay? Next time, or during the second time around, may infect tayo ng ganitong klaseng virus, alam na ng katawan natin since meron na tayong reserved or na-produce ng mga memory B cells and T cells. So, this is the overview of the primary immune response once na tayo ay na-infect ng halimbawa isang klaseng virus for the very first time. Again, halimbawa, yung chickenpox, once na tayo ay na-infect for the first time, it will be eliminated once na napatayo ng ating mga cells sa katawan natin. And after that, syempre, magkakaroon ng proliferation, papadami yon, and we'll have memory cells which are very specific lang para sa chickenpox. Kaya nga, our body are already, nakadepend na or meron na tayong panlaban doon sa chickenpox virus once our body will be infected for the second time around. When chickenpox virus infects our body for the second time, our body will have a stronger and more rapid response. Tandaan natin yan. This is what we called secondary immune response. This is also the explanation kung bakit or for the fourth characteristics of adaptive immunity, which is immunological memory, a stronger and more rapid response to an antigen encountered before. So, as you can see here sa ating figure, parang since overview lang to, halimbawa nga, meron tayong pathogen and then kinain nyo, nag-engulf yun ng mga macrophage. Then, yung macrophage natin, ipipresent ngayon yung component ng pathogen yun sa mga T lymphocytes, diba? So, yung mga pathogen na yun, it will be broken down into components by the phagolysosome. Discuss natin itong phagolysosome. These are the result product when the lysosome and phagosome ay nag-fused. So, dahil meron ng antigen recognition protein, yung T lymphocyte magbabind doon at marami siyang pwedeng ma-activate. Pag na-activate na siya, marami siyang pwedeng maging ma-produce. Pwede siyang makaproduce ng killer cell or B lymphocytes. Yung killer cell na yun, papatay niya yung cell na infected ng bacteria or ng invader na yon. Then yung B lymphocytes ay pwedeng magparami na proliferation at makapag-produce yung mga B lymphocytes ng mga antibodies, yung mga Y-shape na nakita natin ngayon. Or pwede din siya makaproduce ng plasma cells na very specific lang yung kanyang antibodies doon sa invaders, depending doon sa invaders. At these memory cells can later induce the second immune response upon renewed contact with the same pathogen. Ayan, so ito mga antibody natin, very important sila since halimbawa magkaroon naman ng infection the second time around, they have this such specificity, very specific na sila na every time na merong ganong pathogen na pumasok, alam na nila yung kanilang gagawin. Okay? Okay, to continue, the lymphocytes act against antigens which are present in infected cells or antigens which are freely floating in the body fluid. Our immune response against antigens found in infected cells is what we call cell-mediated immune response. Tandaan po natin yan. And is carried out by T cell. Okay? An immune response against antigen naman which are freely floating in the body fluids is what we refer to as humoral immune response. Humor means body fluid, okay? And is carried out by B cells. Ang type ng cell na nagki-carry out the humoral response is the B cell. So as you can see here sa table, ito yung summary na nagpapakita ng difference between humoral response and cell-mediated response. Okay, let's start with the humoral response. Yung origin ng lymphocytes na yun ay sa bone marrow. Same with this cell-mediated, pareho lang sila. Ang difference nila ay yung site of maturation of lymphocytes or halimbawa ng B cell na yon. So yung sa humoral response, yung site niya ay sa bone marrow, sa thymus naman sa cell-mediated response. May mga etong B cell natin can be converted to the following. Una is plasma cell na nagpo-produce ng antibodies or immunoglobulins and marks them for killing. Or memory B cells to remember the antigen for faster antibody production and persist for years. While cell-mediated response naman, ang pwedeng ma-convert itong mga T cell into helper T cells, to T killer cells, and T memory cells. Yung helper T cells natin, syempre sila yung nag-activate ng T kill cells and B cells. Ang T kill cells naman natin, they kill, syempre pinapatay na nila yung pathogens and other cancer cells. While the T memory cells, sila yung nagre-remember ng antigen and it activates T killer cells during the second infection. Alright, in terms of pathogen or allergy response, ang ating humoral response or mga B cells natin, they are very specific to viruses, bacteria, parasites, and acute hypersensitivity. On the other hand, yung T cells natin or the cell-mediated response is yung pathogen na kina-counterpart niya, yung mga viruses, bacteria, parasites, organ transplant, and delayed hypersensitivity. In terms of the basis of vaccination, yes for B cell or humoral response and no for cell-mediated response. And the definition, syempre nito, una, yung ating humoral, this is antibodies that defend against infection in body fluids, while the cell-mediated response, these are cytotoxic cells defend against infection in body cells. Furthermore, in humoral response, as you can see here sa figure natin, the antibodies produced by the activated B cells either neutralize or present the antigen for phagocytosis or cell eating by the neutrophils. Tandaan po natin yan. So from here, halimbawa, since meron tayong bacteria or halimbawa yung T cells are, when they encounter an antigen na present sa isang host natin at mag-display yun ng antigen fragments bound to its MHC molecules and then nagbabind itong ating mga T cells. Yes. And then, magkakaroon ng mga cytokines at yung tutulong para makapag-dictate at mas mabilis yung response ng mga T cells natin. Then, afterwards ay, syempre, yung some cytokines spur the growth of more T cells at ang iba naman, yung pinapatay na talaga nila yung mga infected cells. Alright, so remember, humoral immune response has two main mechanisms. Number one is neutralization. Okay? This is when the antibodies bind to the protein of the surface of a pathogen, thereby preventing the pathogen from infecting the body cells. And the other one mechanism is opsonization. This is when instead na may neutralize na yung pathogens, the antibodies present the pathogen for phagocytosis by neutrophils. So yun yung dalawang main mechanisms ng humoral immune response. In contrary, sa cell-mediated response naman, as you can see here sa figure, the T cells use toxic proteins to kill infected by virus or infected cells by virus or other intracellular pathogens before pathogens mature inside the cell. The toxic proteins trigger apoptosis, remember, or cell death. Halimbawa, as you can see here, the letter A, the B cell is triggered when it encounter its matching antigen. Kaya nga, very specific sila, di ba? So, the B cell engulfs the antigen and digest it, phagocytosis, and then they will display the antigen fragments bound to its unique MHC molecules. This is the combination of this antigen and MHC attracts the help of a mature matching T cell. Then, syempre, magpuproduce sila magsisecrete sila ng cytokines. And then, they will help the B cell to multiply and mature into antibody-producing plasma cells. And afterwards, they're released into the blood of these antibodies. And, it will going to look for or lock onto matching antigen. So the antigen-antibody complexes are then cleared by the complement cascade or by liver and spleen. So depending on the specific pathogen na pwedeng mag-infect sa cell natin. Alright. So, I guess we are done. And if you have questions or clarifications, lagi ko itong sinasabi, don't hesitate to ask me directly, okay? PM nyo lang ako, kids, so that I can able to assist and explain you more about this topic. And I will going to, wait for your questions if meron. And just twist me out. Yun lang talaga. And I hope you really learned a lot from our discussion or from my discussion today. And I bet this will be a goodbye.